know that the data shows that the vast majority of perpetrators in this area are actually white men under 30. Chief prosecutors say that it's a distraction to focus on this particular ethnicity group, and the NSPCC aren't happy about it. Why are you focusing in on this when the data shows that it's actually not how it pans out?
Of grooming gangs, we've had several independent inquiries look at the incidents here in Rochdale, but in Rotherham and Telford. And what's clear is that when victims and other whistleblowers came forward, their claims were often ignored by social workers, local politicians, or even the police. And the reason that they were ignored were due to cultural sensitivity and political correctness.
Yeah, but why is the Home Secretary talking specifically about targeting British Asian gangs when the figures are just not borne out by that? There's not a disproportionate amount of British Asian gangs perpetrating this crime. So why is the Home Secretary honing in on that in particular?
Well, we've had inquiries, independent inquiries into the incidences at Rochdale, Rotherham, Telford. It is clear that when victims or whistleblowers raise concerns with people, those concerns were ignored, and often the reasons that they were ignored were put down to people wanting to be not culturally insensitive or because of political correctness, and that's not right.
Why do you need more evidence to introduce the mandatory reporting? We have had a whole public inquiry on this. Do you accept, in all honesty, that the government have been quite slow to act on this? You're only announcing this now. There's been a public inquiry into mandatory reporting. Labour recommended it 10 years ago. Do you accept that the government have been slower than they should have been?
Well, last year I said that if I became Prime Minister, this is something that I would act on. And I've been Prime Minister a few months, and we are taking decisive action today.
So you don't accept criticism that the government's dragged its feet in getting a grips with child sexual exploitation, given that the big events happened a decade ago?
I said I said last year, before I became Prime Minister, that if I did become Prime Minister, I would take decisive action to clamp out the evil caused and perpetrated by grooming gangs. Today's announcements represent the most robust response of any government to tackle this awful crime.